Thanks, Michael.
Now, it might not feel as if we've had a break at all, but the rough and tumble of federal Parliament is set to resume tomorrow.
To discuss what's on the minds of politicians as they prepare to return to the capital, we're joined in the studio by the Liberal member for Kooyong, Josh Frydenberg, and the Labor member for Canberra, Gai Brodtmann, is at Parliament House in the capital this morning. Good morning to both of you.
Nice to be with you, Michael.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Michael.
Gai.
Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, Josh.
And can I start with you, Josh Frydenberg? What's your take on the Griffith by-election? There was a swing to the government, but still not enough to stop the Labor Party winning the seat. So a victory for the ALP.
Look, we're very proud of the campaign that Bill Glasson ran. It's the first time, Michael, since 1996 that a government's had a swing to it in a by-election. Indeed, the average swings against governments in by-elections since 1983 is just over 5%. So it was a terrific result by Bill Glasson. It wasn't enough to get him over the line, but he is a wonderful candidate, a small business person, a former head of the AMA, and I hope after this election result that he makes another attempt to get back into politics.
Gai, it was just sort of a close call really in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a great result for Terry Butler and for Bill Shorten and for Labor, and it sent a very, very strong message that people are concerned about potential cuts to health, potential cuts to education, the potential impact of cuts to low-income earners and pensioners and families, and also the potential loss of jobs.
Let's move to the Royal Commission, which we believe will be announced later today by the Attorney-General, Josh Frydenberg. Obviously, there are more claims this morning in the Fairfax papers of alleged corruption in some of the key unions. But to the Labor Party's point, why is this not going to be seen as anything but a witch hunt towards the Labor Party?
Well, Michael, I think it's the union members themselves that have provided the evidence and the cause for a judicial inquiry. I mean, first we had the scandal of the HSU and the fact that some of the more lowly paid workers in our community had been shortchanged by the leadership there. And then we've also seen, as you said, the Fairfax and the ABC. Congratulations to both news organisations for profiling some of the intimidation, the thuggery, the kickbacks, the brown paper bags that we're seeing on our building sites. And there is a broad case there, I think, for a more detailed look.
The ABC did pretty well.
The ABC did very well, and congratulations
to
it.
A joint investigation between the ABC and a private media outlet that's okay to the government, is it?
Well,
just want to get that clear, Josh Frydenberg.
Well, Virginia, I think this was a very constructive investigation by the ABC, so congratulations to the journalists involved.
I'm glad it's one that the government likes. Gai Brodtmann, why would the opposition not stand up and very clearly and publicly at this point say, absolutely, if there's corruption anywhere, we would want to see it weeded out, bring on a Royal Commission?
Virginia, the Australian people are very concerned about the allegations of criminality and corruption in the union movement, and Labor is very concerned about these allegations as well. We have made it abundantly clear, Bill Shorten has made it abundantly clear over recent weeks that we abhor, we have no truck with this sort of behaviour, with outlawed bikie gangs, with thuggery. We abhor that sort of behaviour. Jed Carney has said that there is zero tolerance on it in the union movement. So we abhor this sort of behaviour. We do not tolerate criminality or corruption in the union movement. But we're calling on the government to deal with criminality and corruption where it is meant to be dealt with, and that is by the police. That's why we're calling on the government to implement a joint police task force, which will be multi-jurisdictional, which will involve the state police, the territory police, and also the federal police in looking at these allegations. Because Royal Commissions, they can't arrest, they can't charge, and they can't prosecute. They're also incredibly expensive, and they also take a lot of time. Through police investigations, we can deal with these issues in a costly and a timely manner.
Well, hang on. The previous Labor government had no problem with a Royal Commission into child sexual abuse, which is also criminal behaviour.
But it does take time, Virginia, and it also costs a lot of money.
But it's a good thing to do if it's a worthwhile thing, isn't it?
Criminality and corruption need to be dealt with by the police. That's why we're proposing this joint police task force.
And Josh Frydenberg, what do you say to that claim by Gai, or the effort to put more focus on police resources instead of a Royal Commission?
Look, the point about Bill Shorten here is he's been dragged kicking and screaming to even acknowledging there's a problem. I mean, when he was the minister responsible for workplace relations, he dismantled the cop on the beat, which was the Australian Building and Construction Commission, which was responsible for providing evidence to the police for further inquiries and investigations. And now he's been put into his position as leader of the Labor Party by the union movement. He wasn't elected by the popular vote among Labor members. He was put there by the union movement. He's a former union master. He's incredibly conflicted here, and the fact about the Labor Party and Bill Shorten is that they won't walk the talk when it comes to union corruption and thuggery on our building sites.
Josh Frydenberg, your side is copping a bit of friendly fire, I'd say, from a key employer group this morning, the AIG. It is warning against, in its words, deep spending cuts, saying the economy is not in any position to absorb very deep spending cuts in the May budget. Has Innes Willicks from the AIG got a point here?
Look, I think the point about the budget is it will have to be tough, and the reason why is because we were bequeathed a fiscal nightmare by the previous government. We've got $667 billion of debt coming in the next few years. We had more than 200,000 people who are unemployed on Labor's watch. Unless we get the budget under control, unless we bring it back to surplus over time, and unless we get productivity improvements in the economy, Michael, we won't create the thousands of new jobs that we need. So I think the budget will need to be tough, and there will be people who are upset by that.
Gai Brodtmann, would you like to jump in there?
Well, the thing is, the AIG has a right to be concerned. We're concerned as well. Labor is concerned. I know the people of Canberra are particularly concerned about the impact of the Commission of Audit and also the budget. I mean, in 1996, the Howard government got rid of 30,000 public service jobs. They only promised to get rid of 2,500. That ended up being 30,000. We are particularly concerned here in Canberra, but also as a Labor government, about what the Commission of Audit is going to deliver for the nation, particularly on the jobs front, and I'm particularly concerned about the impact on public service jobs in regional Australia, at defence bases, at part-time jobs.
And we've run out of time, sadly, but I can tell you both champing at the bit for the long parliamentary recess. Gai Brodtmann...
You're talking about us there?
Oh, us too. We're all collectively can't wait for Parliament to get back. Gai Brodtmann, Josh Frydenberg, thank you both very much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks very much.
Nice to see you both.